Here is one of the lessons I learned after 35 years of combat sports. How to build mental toughness with sweat, skill and steel. A physically prepared fighter is a mentally prepared fighter. That's what they told us when I trained judo. And that is absolutely correct. But with the caveat that you've not just done physical training, but also mostly sport-specific stuff. You want to have a very high level of physical fitness, which will result in mental toughness because you've had to overcome the hardship of God knows how many lifted tons of weights and thousands of kilometers ran over the course of years. But you must be careful not to turn into a weightlifter or a bodybuilder or a track and field athlete. Your sport must come first. Everything else is supplementary. When I trained judo, I've had a bodybuilding phase, a weightlifting phase, and a phase where I empathize with track and field athletes at the Olympics more than I did with judokas. In other words, I strayed away from judo and concentrated more on supplementary stuff than on sport-specific drills. That changed when I switched to MMA. While I still did physical training, drilling and sparring made the bulk of my training and it paid off. Drilling will give you the biggest bang for the buck and can take you much further than if you drill a little bit and do a lot of strength and conditioning. And that will also give you mental toughness. The knowledge that you've been in all sorts of situations, that you've drilled them relentlessly, and that you have at least one solution in each one of them. I've talked about this in this video up here or in the description, and it's called having a system. There I mentioned that drillers are killers and that you should aim to have a complete system of fighting where you have at least one solution for every situation. Check it out if you want to learn more. Ultimately, mental toughness is achieved by gradually overcoming obstacles in training, whether physical or sport-specific, making yourself do things that you don't want to do, like going for a run when it's raining, and winning sparring sessions and fights. Also by losing sparring sessions and fights, learning the lessons and coming back stronger. You need to show up day after day and do your best. For years. There is no shortcut. But there are some things that you can do to help yourself, and I've written a book on mental toughness, which you can find up in the cards or below in the description. If you'd like to hear about other lessons I've learned after 35 years of doing combat sports, click on the full video.